Hi guys! Oh my god, I'm so excited about this video because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about how to start off your basic skincare kit. So, first of all, let's talk about skin. I know a lot of you guys probably have questions on how to determine what type of skin type you have, whether it's oily, combination, normal, dry. It is pretty much really simple, okay? First examine your skin. Once you've washed it, do you feel dry? Do you feel oily? Do you feel okay? Do you feel normal? And also whether you have acne or you have dry, flaky skin somewhere, pretty much those are indications of what type of skin you have. Some of you guys might say you have really oily T-zone, but then the rest of your face is really tight and dry, and then so that will tell you that you're a combination. Doesn't matter what skin you have, you still need a basic skincare routine. And the basic skincare routine, I know a lot of you guys know out there, is cleanse, tone, and moisturize. However, I'm going to tell you today that this is not enough. Cleansing, toning, and moisturizing is so basic that I do not even call it basic. It's pretty much like breathing. You have to breathe, so you have to do those things, okay? But the most basic that I've narrowed it down to is really cleansing, exfoliating, toning, moisturizing, and definitely, without a doubt, protection. So those are 5 things that you must do for your skincare routine. It doesn't matter if you're young, old, you know, female, male, you have to do all of these things. Let's go straight into cleansing. There are so many cleansers on the market. You have foam cleansing, gel cleanser, milk cleanser, lotion cleanser, this like gazillion types of cleansers out there. So you really have to determine what type of cleanser you are depending on what type of skin type you have. So if you have really dry skin, I would avoid using foaming cleansing because that will dry out your skin more. If you have really oily skin, I would avoid using milk cleansers because it's too moisturizing and you wouldn't feel cleansed afterwards. So depending on what type of skincare you have, try to find a good cleanser that best matches your skin. For me personally, this is kind of like my best 2-in-1 thing. Not only does it help with oily skin, like skin patches where I have, but also is anti-aging at the same time, which is what I need because I'm getting old, okay? So I found that this is really great and I use this both day and night. So you just squeeze a little bit onto your palm and then you lather with water and then just apply it over your skin. Lather it really well, make sure all parts of your face is covered, including your neck as well, and then rinse it off completely. The next step is exfoliating, and like I said, it doesn't matter if you have dry, normal, combination, oily skin, all of you guys will need to exfoliate. I might have mentioned to you this before that the natural life cycle of your cell is 28 days. So your skin pretty much have dermis, epidermis, and then the surface of your skin. It takes 28 days from the cell, from the dermis, all the way to travel to the surface of your skin. And that's when your skin cycle renewal is. The new cells come up and then fall off. New cells come up and then fall off. So for you to make sure that you have removed all the dead skin cells on the surface of your skin is to exfoliate. Because excess dead skin cells on the surface layers can cause your pores to be blocked and therefore in turn causes breakouts, pimples, you know, blackheads, just congestion in general. And I'm currently loving the Kate Somerville Exfoliate, which I use minimum once a week. I like to make sure, especially my T-zone is especially oily, so I make sure that my nose and my chin and my forehead is exfoliated. I usually use this like 3 times a week, but I said the minimal, okay? The most minimal time you can use exfoliate is once a week. Must use exfoliator. Step number 3 is toner. And I know a lot of you guys might have heard mixed messages about toners. What is toners? What does toners do? Basically, pH is a balance between acid and basic in your skin. And usually we are a 7 all the way through. However, sometimes the cleansers actually throw off that balance. So whether your skin becomes more acidic or more basic depending on the cleanser. And what the toners does is bring your pH back to the neutral, which is 7. That's what toners used to do, and that's all they did back then. Toners nowadays are more efficient and more advanced now. So they not only balance the pH, they also remove any makeup and cleanser residue. They also prepare your skin for the moisturizer to go on later, and they also sometimes detoxify the skin. So it does so much more than what it used to do. I do have to stress though is to avoid any toners with alcohol, because alcohol does dry out your skin and it gives your skin no benefit at all. When I'm having problems with breakouts, so in summer and things like that, I tend to go for the SK2 Facial Treatment Clear Lotion. And what I mean by how advanced toners are these days, this also contains Patira, which is obviously the essence of SK2, the brand itself. And Patira actually helps with skin cells renewal. And in winter, when my skin is really dry and flaky, I go for something like this. It's more of a moisturizing, hydrating toner. And I actually use this all year round sometimes, so it really depends. Those are two that I kind of go in between. Moisturizer. This part is very important and it's huge because depending on what type of skin you have, you can find moisturizers from like high-end to drugstore, and you could even use baby lotion. The way to put on moisturizer, I know a lot of you guys probably heard of serums and like hydrating lotions and emulsions and creams. You're like, oh my God, what are you guys talking about? The easiest way for you to remember how to put on what first is going by the texture. So think of your skin as a sponge, okay? It absorbs watery, liquidy stuff first because it's most liquidy and watery, so it absorbs that first. And then the next thing it would absorb is like creamy stuff. And then the next thing it would absorb is paste because that's like the last thing that would absorb, you know? If you have really dry skin, then you would put on a hydrating serum first and then your moisturizer. So in winter when I have really dry skin, I like to use my serum, which is the Lancome Visionaire in the Advanced Skin Corrector Wrinkles, Pores and Evenness. I use this on first because it's more of a serum, so it's like this, you know, like a liquidy stuff. And then I apply this on first before I apply my moisturizer. This is the Visionaire Correcting Polishing Cream, and as you can see, the texture of this is it's a lot more thicker. So I apply this after the serum because you're allowing your skin to absorb the liquids first before applying on any thicker, heavier stuff. So in summer when I'm breaking out more and my skin is really oily, I tend to go for something more like acne control. So basically this is kind of like the serum, it's very liquidy, so it's like, you know, like almost like a gel type. So I'll apply this all over my skin and then I'll use a moisturizer on top of that, and I tend to match it with the Kiehl's Clearly Corrective White Hydrating Moisture Emulsion, and this is it's more of a paste. So obviously I apply this on after. So when moisturizing, never ever forget your eyes. Depending on what type of eye concern that you might have. In summer, I like to go for something a bit lighter, like a gel. I use this in summer. And then when I'm like a little bit more heavy duty, like wrinkles and stuff, this is the Miracle Worker Philosophy. It's like a retinol eye repair. So it actually kind of like gently peels off your skin. So it's like a really heavy duty wrinkle removing eye cream. Last but not least is protection, because without this, the whole basic skincare routine is out the door, because what you've done to help protect your skin will be like wasted if you don't protect it with sunblock. So the current one I'm using at the moment is the Chanel UV Essential, and basically it's an SPF of 50. I would not recommend anything more than SPF 50 because it does become really rich and oily and it can cause problems. It can clog up your pores if you don't cleanse it off properly. So basically, again, remember to cleanse, exfoliate, tone, moisturize, and protection. 5 basic rules of your basic skincare, okay? It doesn't matter what brand you're using, what products you're using, as long as you're doing the 5 basic things, you're set. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any more questions, please comment below and let me know. Also, remember to like this video and share this with your friends, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!